Hey guys, welcome back to the new edition of this channel. In the previous edition, we discussed about the match week 2 of La Liga, and we are able to look into all the 9 games, and we are going to look into today's Serie A, all the 10 fixtures. We predicted all the Premier League fixtures also in the previous last 2 edition on this same channel. So this time around, let us look into Serie A and let's see what we have there. So if you are just joining us for the first time, just make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like our video, and drop your comments in case if you have any questions. So we are going to use our long AI prompt, and let's see what we can get for each predictions. The first one that we have on the list is the match between Inter Milan and AC Monza. So let us look into the projected statistics, and we also look into the predicted scoreline. So this happens to be the most important section of this long form prompt that we can actually look into and utilize the data. So if you look at this, you can see the possession, you can see the total shots, shot on target, projected corners, and pass accuracy. But the most important section that I will use to finalize the possible outcome of this match is this particular section. And what are we going to look into in this section? It is very simple. So we are going to look into the most likely scoreline and the alternative scoreline. So Inter Milan happens to be the favorite to actually win this match naturally, but what I'll be expecting in this game is very simple. I expect Inter Milan to score at least a single goal in this match. Inter Milan is highly expected to score at least a goal in this match. Alright, now, so without snoozing on it, we have another one, the match between Udinese and Como. Alright, so we are going to look into the most important section of these two teams. So what we actually have here is the predicted scoreline, which happens to be the single. We decided not to generate the alternative scoreline, but if you want to have the alternative scoreline, so for this match we can also look into probably 1-2, that is the away team, which is Como, to actually win the match. But my final prediction on this is that the match should end up as under 4.5 goals. The match between Udinese and Como under 4.5 goals. Up next on the list is the match between Genoa against Napoli. Alright, let us look at the statistic projection. Okay, so we have the winning probability 25% for Genoa, 50% for Napoli, expected goals average, and clean sheet probability. Okay, but looking into the final prediction and the scoreline, we have 1-2 for Napoli to win and 2-2 the alternative scoreline. So my final prediction on this match is over 1.5 goals. So therefore, Genoa versus Napoli over 1.5 goals. Alright, so let's proceed to the next fixtures. The next match on the list is the match between Parma against Cagliari. Okay, alright, let us look at the statistic projection, and so for those people that have interest in looking into considering foul markets, yellow cards, shots on targets, you can do your own personal analysis on that. Now, looking into the probability of winning, this match seems to be a very tight match because of the percentage between who to win, whether the match will end up in a straight draw, and so many more like that. And based on what we have here, with the predicted scoreline, you can see that this suggests a low scoring match fixtures between these two teams, and naturally we should not be expecting more than 4 goals between these two teams. So my final prediction for this match, Parma against Cagliari, is under 4.5 goals. Alright, so the next on the list is the match between Frosinone against Juventus. So let us look at the two most important section of this prompt. So we are looking into the match between Frosinone against Juventus. Okay. So if you have interest in looking into start market or start option, you can actually consider this section. With what I saw in the statistics section, I believe this match should actually end up in so many corners. But looking into the predicted scoreline, the most likely score for this match is 0-2, and the alternative scoreline is actually Frosinone, Juventus to win by 3 goals to 1. But my own final prediction on this is Frosinone under 2.5 goals. That is the home team not to score more than 2 goals. Alright, now so up next is the match. It is the match between Venezia against US Lecce. Okay, so we are going to look at the two section that happens to be the most important. Although we have the projected statistics for those people that want to consider some data there, and we also have the winning probability section, and in addition now we have the predicted scoreline. So the first one that we have, which happens to be the most likely, is 1-1, and the alternative is 0-1, which is least to actually win. So based on the confidence rating, the data strongly support an under 2.5 goals outcome given the historical precedent and opening the caution. However, for my own final prediction, I'll be looking into under 4.5 goals for this match. So yes, next on the list is the match between Atalanta against Sassuolo. So let us check the statistics section for those people that always have interest in looking into the statistic projection. Alright, so we have it here. 61% of possession is expected from Atalanta. Okay, total shots, shot on target, corners. You can actually consider this if you have interest in statistics. So the winning probability, okay, Atalanta is the favorite here, and the most likely scoreline that we have here is 2-1 Atalanta to win, and alternative scoreline is 2-0 and 1-1. However, this will be my own declaration for the possible outcome of this match. So I'll be looking into the away team under 2.5 goals for this match. That is Sassuolo under 2.5 goals. Alright, so up next on the list is the match between Torino FC against AC Milan. Let us quickly look into the two most important sections, the section for those people that really have interest in looking into statistics, and the predicted scoreline section, whereby we are going to extract our final possible outcome prediction. So for those people that have interest in looking into statistics, data, stuff like that, you are going to get the projected stats for the match. And proceeding, we have the predicted scoreline here, and my final prediction for this match is home team under 2.5 goals. That is, FC Torino is not expected to score more than 2 goals in this match. Alright, so the next on the list is the match between Bologna and Lazio. So let us look at what we have on the list here. So for statistic projection, if you have interest, okay. Okay. So looking into this game, this seems to be some kind of a very tough match fixture. The most likely scoreline that we have here is 1-1, and the alternative scoreline that I'm currently seeing here is 1-2. So there is a high probability that this particular game can actually end up as maybe probably over 1.5 goals, but it is a very tight game, and this is what I'll be looking into, since it is not really giving a signal of probably there will be a particular dominant team or stuff like that. The best thing to actually look into is any team to score 3 or more goals in a row, which is no. So we can actually look into that. Alright, so the final fixture that we have on today's edition is the match between Roma against Fiorentina. Alright, so my AI is already generating, as we generated the data information needed, and we are going to look into the statistic projection and also the predicted scoreline. So this section is only for those people that have interest in statistics observation, and also it is always useful for the predicted scoreline section. It is always useful for the final draft of your prediction. So what I actually have here suggests that AS Roma is highly expected to win this particular match, but based on the alternative scoreline information that we are currently having, which is 1-1 and 2-0, so it shows that there can be a little bit twist in this particular match. However, my final prediction and final observation on this particular game is that away team, which is Fiorentina, not to score more than 2 goals. Alright, so that's the end of our prediction on today's edition. If you have any question, kindly drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to this channel, and for more daily updates and giveaway plan, you can also join our Telegram platform so that you won't miss any updates. See you guys in the next edition. Bye bye.